Hi, I'm Dr. Roberto Albani. I am a pediatrician and a gastroenterologist. Now, among all of the things that I see in my daily practice, among all of the problems, by far the most common is reflux, gastroesophageal reflux in babies. They have colic, they have trouble sleeping, they have trouble feeding, they have to be kept up a lot of the time. Now, where does it come from? And how is it possible to see that your baby has reflux, and what can you do about it? Here is where the problem starts, in the lower esophageal sphincter, in the red circle. This does not close properly after feeding and looks like this instead of this. So the stomach acid is free to go up and down the esophagus and cause inflammation of the esophagus, i.e. esophagitis. Here it is, the stomach acid coming out of the mouth, as it happens almost all the time in reflux. Another very common symptom of reflux is hiccup. How come? The stomach acid inflames also the endings of the phrenic nerve that form a network inside the lining of the esophagus. And this inflammation triggers the brisk contractions of the diaphragm, i.e. the hiccup. Hic, hic, hic. Curiously, this symptom of reflux starts almost always while the baby is still in the womb, well before birth, so that one could see the problem coming. Actually, almost all mothers of baby with reflux tell me that they felt that the baby had hiccups frequently before birth, in the last weeks of pregnancy. What makes the baby most uncomfortable is the burning pain and the spasms due to the inflammation of the esophagus. This alone can make him cry for hours and disturbs his sleep every night for months. The esophagitis also causes nausea and on occasions bouts of retching and vomiting. Another common consequence of reflux is the buildup of air inside the stomach and the intestine, the whole GI system. Why? Where does the air come from? In fact, every time the baby swallows what comes up from the stomach, he also swallows a bubble of air. One bubble after another, the stomach starts getting swollen with air. This is why the baby has to be burped so often. A baby with reflux ends up burping and regurgitating all the time. However, good part of the air stays inside the GI system, does not get eliminated through burping. And where does it end up? It gradually reaches the last part of the bowel, the colon, and builds up in it to the point that it triggers painful colics. These usually come at the end of the day and can last for hours, until the air is finally expelled with embarrassing noises and the baby can finally rest. What do parents instinctively do to give some comfort to their baby? You see it all the time. They keep their baby like this. They end up holding it like this because they see that the baby is more comfortable like that. But what happens is that they end up holding the baby like this all day and all night. You know, sometimes they sleep with the baby like this, sitting on their bed, and they go on doing this for weeks, for months, for years. After this ordeal, they come to me looking like this, dead tired and desperate. I believe that reflux is probably the main reason why for centuries in various parts of the world mothers have developed the habit of carrying their babies in slings. More recently, the so-called baby-wearing devices have been adopted in Western countries, not only because they are so convenient for carrying the baby around, but also because they help the baby's stomach empty more quickly and make it much easier for them to sleep comfortably. Now, when I see a family that brings me a baby with reflux, I know I have an idea on how much trouble, how much difficulty they go through because of this, a discomfort of the baby, the crying, the colics, etc. So I feel the need to help these families by prescribing some medication quite a lot of the time, some medication that counteracts the acid. However, with this video, what I want to emphasize is the importance of keeping the baby in the right position, in an upright position a lot of the time, most of the time. And how? Well, I have plenty of evidence that the use of the so-called baby wearing devices that keep the baby in that position has a very beneficial effect, and it can reduce the use of medication quite substantially.